Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for stopping by once again. I have just 4 things I want to share this evening, so it's not going to be particularly long. I think there are things you should be aware of, so I'll share those. But they're not really, they don't fit into a theme. Next time I talk, I want to be talking more about a general theme as opposed to just bits and pieces. And first off, you have to deal with by the way, thanks to Ed Tennis for providing the photo that was the front cover for this particular video. Ed's very loyal about passing those along to me, and I appreciate it. The visa situation has not changed regarding the Friendly Nations visa. I don't expect it to. I wrote a note to the effect that I thought effectively, in a little bit gentler terms, it was a dumb idea. It was extraordinarily poor timing, and it shouldn't have happened. It's not going to do anybody any good, and it probably is going to actually hurt to some extent. But I sent it off, so be it. I don't anticipate that's going to have any impact. Okay, so that's that. We haven't made any progress since then. The virus, we're doing fine. We're getting constantly moving the vaccinations up. We have a very fine medical institute here, the Gorgas Memorial. It has been around since the beginning of the canal. It was Americans who set it up originally. It is now very much a Panamanian institution, and it is well respected for its work with infectious disease. And they are out now doing a survey nationally involving blood samples from a good sample of the population to get the level of immunity. That is, you can gain some immunity by virtue of being exposed to the virus or having a mild case of it or whatever, and not even really think of it, being aware that you had it, but it can still do that. And so that plus the vaccinations gives you a more accurate picture of whether the population is indeed anywhere near herd immunity or where we stand in terms of the whole thing. This is not easily done, and we're lucky to have the people who can do that. It's underway, and we'll look forward to hearing from the results. This is the second time. The first time indicated there was definitely some better than we expected at the time. So we'll see if that remains to be the case. It would be nice. Now, third is YouTube. YouTube has written to me and to God knows how many hundreds of thousands of people have YouTube channels to tell us that even though we don't do advertising, and I don't, as you know, that they are going to monetize our websites. They will show advertising on our videos whenever they feel like it, without our knowing or permission or anything else. And the money that's received from that will go only to them. Just like that. If for those YouTube channels that are set up to make money, their circumstances remain fundamentally the same from what I understand. But for those of us who specifically do not want to have monetization of our websites, this is not a very nice thing at all. There's really no alternative to this, folks. You just don't shift over to a group like a site like Vimeo, for example, which I love, great site, but it's not set up for this sort of thing. The result is that it's YouTube or nothing. So we're stuck with this, and I would pay to have a channel free of all advertising, and they don't offer that. Others do, but they don't offer that, and they want the money. So on a couple of occasions, I actually saw ads when I came in to check my videos. I was shocked, and so I went right in to check and make sure it was clear that I did not want ads, and it was clear. It still says that in my profile at YouTube, but it isn't going to be the way it is. So if you see it, that's the story. It's not my choice. I don't like it. And a lot of stuff I don't like in the world, but it really pisses me off. It really does. Now, moving along, last but not least, a tough one. Over the last 3-4 weeks, I've had maybe 8 emails requesting that if possible, if I could call them for a phone call or Skype or Zoom. Zoom is fine. Everybody Zooms these days and so forth. And in each instance, as has always been the case for a very long time now, I've had to turn them down. And I'm just saying this in advance so I don't have to disappoint too many of you if you should be thinking in terms of writing it. I don't do that because this is it's a nonprofit thing. I don't make money off it. It's simple as that. And I do have a business. I do have another thing that I'm working on, which is not a mystery. I'm not ashamed of it. It just happens to be a very big affair and requires investors with a considerable amount of money. And this is not for you, and it's not expected to be, and it has nothing to do with what I'm trying to accomplish and have been for 17 years here. So that's just the way it is. And I have to be careful, because I can easily get swamped. I had 43 people come to visit me 1 month, because when people write me, say, I'm going to be in town first time, I'd love to see you for coffee. I say, fine, you pay for the coffee, and I'm sure we can work it out. I had 43 in 1 month. It was just crazy, but now we're beginning to get those starting to write me and tell me if the COVID allows, they are coming, and that's great. Some have been here. But I just can't deal with phone calls too. So I don't mean to insult anybody or hurt any feelings and so on. But there's a limit, and that just is beyond my limit. So I just wanted to share that too. Next time, that's it. I told you it was going to be short. Next one, we're going to look a little bit more carefully at the broader picture. We're going to do a little bit more the serious stuff that needs to be discussed that really is more to the point. So until that time comes, may you be healthy and wealthy and wise, and may we all get together soon.